everyone, my name is Tracy, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the Modern States platform and what it looks like when you sign up for the first time. So as a disclaimer, I am a Modern States ambassador, and I'm also going to be walking through this with my first impressions because I have not been inside the new version of Modern States. That being said, I might pause the video in case I get a little stuck on things, but hopefully it should be pretty straightforward. And last is that my baby is in the background, so I hope that you guys enjoy this video. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so this is what the Modern States website looks like. You'll notice that it's pretty straightforward. You'll be able to see and peruse through what the basic steps are and how it works. It also plays a little bit of a video for you, so you can take a look at that as well. Scrolling further down, you'll also see a couple of the different options that you have as far as courses that are available to you, and there's even some AP courses for those that are interested. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and scroll up, and I'm going to log in. And for anyone else that might be new to the program, this might be your moment to sign up. So I'm going to go ahead and try to log in, see if I can do that right now. Okay. All right, I'm gonna log in, and in this video I'm going to blur this part, obviously where my credentials are at. Okay, so this is the introduction that you're going to see when you first log in to Modern States after you've registered. So we're going to walk through the section together. So here you will see that we have a welcome, and it lets you know that we're going to watch a 5-minute video. I'm going to go ahead and click play, and then play maybe the first couple seconds. Then I'll pause the video and continue on through the rest of the introduction. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to click next. Here you're going to go through the navigation of what the new platform looks like. Great. So in this next section, it's going to talk about the actual navigation of the new platform, what it looks like, and there's also a video that you are going to be able to walk through. I will play the first couple of seconds of this video and pause it and then move on. You, of course, can watch this video on your own.
There are 3 parts of every Brightspace course you'll navigate through as an online learner.
And what I'll also do is I will show this in full screen so you can kind of get an idea of the general layout of what the platform looks like. So at first, okay, so in this last section, it basically summarizes what you've kind of learned in this new onboarding, and it also mentions that if you notice a little bit of familiarity with the platform and maybe a couple of your traditional college courses, it's because this new platform is it's D2L Brightspace, which is a very common platform that a lot of community colleges, universities, traditional colleges use for their courses. So if that sets your mind at ease, it's good to know that the Modern States courses are on a very familiar platform, and you don't have to worry about learning a whole new system again. Right. So now I'm going to go ahead and click dismiss, and we're going to jump into the platform. So here is, you should be able to see what the layout looks like if you don't have any courses that you've signed up for. So if you're completely brand new to the program, welcome. This should be what your screen should look like right after you sign up. So we're going to go through. Here is your home button, and this is where you can start selecting your courses. Traditionally, this is I'm not sure what it's called, the official name, but I've heard it being called a waffle or a little square selection icon. I'm sure that in the comments somebody can clarify what the official name is. So then you have your notification icon or your subscription alerts, and then your update alerts. We're going to start from the top left and go all the way down. So here on the top left, you should see your home button. Then you'll see your course button where you'll be able to select the courses. And you can call this like your little waffle. I don't know. You can also check out your subscription alerts. That'll kind of tell you what's going on if you have some kind of alert with a course. And then this is a little update alert bell. So if you have any other updates not related to your course specifically, this is where they will show up. Again, I'm walking in through this video with the first impressions, so some of the details I might be slightly off in, but I'll clarify those in an upcoming video. Okay, so let's walk through the new platform together. So what I see is I see a home button, I see a course button where I can select all the different courses. I'm seeing a subscription alerts and an update alerts. Okay, pretty straightforward. I also see where I can make changes to my profile, and yeah, so there's that. I'll actually come back to notifications in a little bit. So now we're going to go through the navigation bar. So you have enroll, awards, voucher request, test center reimbursement, modern states help, and Brightspace help. So what I see here is that if I want to enroll in a course, I click on enroll. If I get some kind of awards, that's where it is. Voucher request, this is when you are done with one of your courses. You won't need this button until later. Test center reimbursement, you won't need to use this button unless you are going to go take a test somewhere and they charge you for taking that test. That's separate from what Modern States pays for. So again, you won't need this button unless this certain situation arises for you. Then you have your Modern States help button, which is different from your Brightspace help button. So if you need something that's related to the platform itself, it's more than likely the Brightspace link. And if it's related to the courses, you would click on that one for you. All right, so now looks like on the left hand side, if I needed to go through that orientation that we just went through, if I needed to go through that again for any reason, you could click on that on the top left hand side. I forgot to mention, this is just a header, so that might vary or change, or it might just stay the same, but this is an area you won't need to really worry about. On your left hand side, you'll see that you have courses. Right now I don't have any, so we're going to go and add one course in there, and I'll walk you through that. And then the bottom part, you have approved auditors. Again, we won't have to worry about that right now. Announcements, pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to go ahead and go to notifications because I want to see if I can change that setting right now or if I need to wait. Let's see. Okay, so I've used the Brightspace D2L platform before, and one of the good things that I like about it is that I can change the way my notifications come to me. And one of the main things that I like to do is to have a summary emailed to me every day. Now, I know some people might not want that, but I am not the best at remembering things from like little notifications. I prefer to have something in my emails just to kind of keep me on track. So I'm going to request one at 7 a.m. in the morning. So first thing in the morning when I wake up, I have an email that tells me if there's anything that's due, if there's anything that I may have to read, etc. And then instant notifications are the items that will pop up inside the platform. So if you want any of those to be emailed to you, you have that option here as well. In this case, I don't think I need any of these to be emailed specifically. The only thing that I would do is maybe if there's an assignment or end date that's 2 days away, if I need that for any reason. And let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So in this part, we're going to go ahead and add a course. So I'm going to try to do it 2 ways. I'm going to go through and click through Enroll. And I'm also going to go through the little course section here. I just want to make sure if there's anything different. So do not have access to any courses. Okay, so let's enroll. I know that I need to take principles of micro and macro economics. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up for this course. Okay. All right, now it says I'm already enrolled. So I'm going to check this top part. Nothing yet. Go to my home. All right, looks like I'm able to go into my course. With that, I'm going to check if there's any alerts. Nothing. I see that there's 20 unattempted quizzes. All right, so I will go back to this part later in the video. So let's go back to the actual course and jump in. Alright, so this is what the course looks like. So specifically, this is what the navigation looks like for just one course. I hope that this makes sense. So let me backtrack. So we went to the home page. You will have a specific type of layout, right? So you have welcome, courses, announcements, and content. The content will be anything that will show up. Traditionally, it's like if a teacher has any kind of announcement, but there could be something else that the course might show up for you on the main content section. So if, let's say you have 3 different courses that you're working on, there might be something that will pop up on the right hand side of your home page under the content section that is related to one of the 3 courses. Okay, so now let's jump back into the course, and this is the layout that pertains to this specific course. So on the top left hand you have overview, which is this page, which it tells you all the details that you need to know about the actual course. Then you have any bookmarks that you may have saved, course schedule, and then here is what the course layout is. So you have your table of contents, getting started, course materials, and then all the different chapters that you'll need to cover. So excuse me, they're not chapters, they would be more like sections. So in this course you have 7 sections, and each section has subsections, if that makes sense. So let's go through and click on table of contents. Okay, so you have welcome, overview, goals, professors, and fact sheets. You also have video transcripts, textbook slides. Oh, I will say keep an eye on slides. That's very, very important. I learned a lot from slides, and I think slides are very useful when you're going through your course. So we'll come back to that. FAQ, and then here is the sections. Okay, great. So this is section 1, and each section has subsections. You can look at, here's section 2. It has four subsections. Section 3 has only one subsection. If that makes sense. So we'll just keep scrolling through, and then the final exam information. All right. So this is your table of contents, and again, this should kind of look familiar. Section 1, Section 1, Section 2, Section 2. Okay, what else? So let's go through. Okay, so I am now in section 1, and it tells me that this section has a module, and then a quiz. So the subsection has a module and then a quiz, another module and then a quiz. So I hope that this kind of is making sense. So then you'll have a module, a second module in this case, and then a quiz. So once you finish all these sections, you'll be able to move on to the next big section. So here we go. I told you that I would go back to quizzes. So that quiz list that we saw earlier, that is comprised of all the quizzes that are in the course. So that quiz list took all of these quizzes that you see listed here and puts them all together in one big list. So I hope that makes sense. All right, getting started. Let's go through getting started. Okay, course materials. Okay, course. All right, so table of contents is a summary of all the main links that are for the section right here on the left hand side. So just to be clear, the same links are available in different areas. So I hope that makes sense. So if you happen to get lost, do not worry, because more than likely you will find the same link that you need in 2 different spots. I hope that makes sense. So anyways, just know that if you get lost at any point and you're trying to figure out where is that quiz link, or where is that meet your professor video again, you can find it in various ways. There's not one way to find the material that you might need. So I hope that helps. And let's start with the first section, and let's click on the module so you can kind of see what it looks like. We're going to click play, and if you look down below, there's a video transcript and then the slides.
This is module 1.1.
Okay, so this is what the video looks like. I'm going to click on the reading. So when I go to the reading, it opens up a new page, and it gives me the PDF, which is part of the textbook that is included with your course. So let me backtrack. So when you sign up for a course, Modern States has a course that includes video of an instructor teaching you. You get slides. You get to use an open source textbook, and the pages that you're looking at on the screen right now are the PDFs that make up that textbook, if that makes sense. And then you also get quizzes along the way. So you get all of the elements that you would get in a regular course. Just to be clear, this Modern States does not give you only video, only slides, only textbook, only reading. No, you get the whole package. You get the same experience that you would with an asynchronous course from a traditional college or university. So I hope that that helps make you feel a little bit more at ease, knowing that Modern States is a very high caliber, high value program. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so in this case, the transcript opened up in a new window, and again, you're able to see everything that the professor said in the video. One of the great things about this is that if you are someone that does better at taking notes when a professor is speaking, the transcript or the slides or both are a great way for you to do that. And you can either print these out, or you can use your e-ink tablet or your whatever method you want to use. This is another option for you. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to click on is slides. So for me, I really like the slides when I can print them out and use them in order to follow along with a video. I find them to be the most beneficial. And side note, not every professor has in-depth slides, but the ones that do, fabulous resource. So this is an example of the slides. So I'm going to click out of that. All right, so this is what the first module looks like, and here's a summary down below. And then if you go to the right hand side, you'll see these little arrows. This is going to take you between one module and the next. So let me show you a little bit about the navigation. So on the top part, you'll see you have the main navigation bar. In between your main content screen is what's called the little breadcrumb navigation. So this will take you back and forth through the module. So let me explain that a little bit further. So at the beginning of the breadcrumb navigation is the table of contents, which again will take you to your main section of your course. Then it'll then moving to the right, it has the section 1, and then next to that is the section 1.1, which is the subsection that you're in. And the text here, which is not hyperlinked, that's just repeating where you're at. So don't worry about that part. Okay, so if I wanted to jump to the next part of subsection 1, I can click on the next button, and it should take me to the quiz, which I believe is the next thing that follows the module. Okay, so here we are at the quiz. So here I have a summary of what the quiz is when it's started. In this case, it would be now, and it's telling me that I have an unlimited time to take the quiz. So that means that if I want to take 2 hours to take the quiz, I can. If I want to take 1 hour, or I want to time myself and try to do it under 20 minutes, that's up to me. And I can do as many attempts as I need to in order to pass the quiz. So I'm going to skip through because I'm not going to take the test during this recording. So now I'm going to click next, and it should take me to the next subsection. Okay, and it does. So I hope that navigation kind of helps. So in this case, it took me to subsection 1.2. If you notice here, section 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4 subsections. And the subsection has one module. If I go here, same here. Subsection 1.3 has only one module. Subsection 1.4 has 2 modules. All right, so if I were to go back to section 1, it's going to show me everything here. So now I clicked on section 1 and it took me to the table of contents of section 1. When you click on one of the main links here on the left hand side, they're going to take you to a table of contents for that link, if that makes sense. So if I click on section 2 on my left hand side, it's going to take me to the table of contents for section 2. It's not going to take me to the first module of section 2, if that makes sense. It's going to go straight to a table of contents because it's basically asking, okay, from section 2, what would you like to read or go to next, if that makes sense. So that is the basics of navigating through this. I hope that this was helpful and not confusing. I'm trying to go through and walk you through all the different links that you could click on, because when I first got through D2L, it was confusing for me. It was, for some reason or another, it was hard to get my bearings around where things were, because it felt like a lot of things were moving, or like I would click on some place and I would end up in a different spot than I didn't expect. And now, in hindsight, I understand that, or at least my interpretation is that what the platform was designed was to have different ways of getting to the same spot, so that if you learn a little bit differently, or you just navigate things a little bit differently, you should still be able to get to the right spot. I believe that's what the intention is, but for someone who, but for me, in my case, I found it difficult to navigate at the beginning. It was very user-friendly. The buttons were big enough. The labels were pretty straightforward. The layout itself is very friendly. The mobile experience was easy, but for some reason, wrapping my brain around how the courses were laid out was the hardest part for me, if that makes sense. I didn't have trouble navigating through the home page because that seemed pretty straightforward. This is your home base and these are your courses. But when I would jump into a course, I would have a hard time trying to locate things. So another tip is, or another note, is that if nothing else, just feel at ease that the courses have already been set up, and there shouldn't be a reason why they should be moved around, if that makes sense. I'll give you an example. When I took courses in D2L at my local community college, every professor did their course layout different. There was a suggested layout, there was a recommended layout, but every professor would do it differently. Some professors would lay out their course the same way that you see here. There's a section, there's a subsection, there's a quiz, and it was pretty straightforward. Others would put everything in one like big section, I guess you would say, and then they would have another section that was just for like videos. And I'm exaggerating a little just because I don't remember exactly all the details. I just remember that it was a learning curve at the beginning of every class to try to figure out what the layout was. So I hope that that sets you at ease. Just know everything's been set up. Nothing should be changed. And if it is, that's what the announcements are for, to kind of tell you and walk you through any of the major changes. So, okay, let's go back and go to the home page. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them as best as possible. And if I don't know, I will either link or tag or whatever, either Modern States or D2L, depending on the question. So I'm hoping a lot in this video, but the reason I'm taking the time to do this video is I want you to feel comfortable jumping into this course or to any course that you pick in Modern States, because the idea of self-study or independent study can already be overwhelming for people, especially if you're just jumping back into school again, especially if you've never done a self-study before. You're doing this on your own, and it can feel like you're the only person trying to like navigate through this, and you could be frustrated. And I just want you to know that you are not alone. There are hundreds and hundreds of students doing asynchronous courses all the time. It might not feel like it, but you can do it. It is possible. Many people have done it. If this is you watching this at 11 o'clock at night or at 10 in the morning, please know that that you will get through this. Okay? That you're smart enough that you can handle it even with your crazy schedule. You can do this one step at a time. All right, so that's my little encouraging rant, and I'm gonna go through the rest of this. So we have content. So content will take you back to whatever last table of contents you were in, if that makes sense. If not, don't worry about it. Stick to one way of getting to the places that you need to go. So in this case, what I would say, if any of this it gets crazy for you, go back to your home page, click on your course, from your course, stick to the left-hand side. Go to whatever section you need to go to, and then click from there the module that you need to get to. One other thing you might start to notice is that in this section, you'll notice these dots on the right-hand side. I'm going to go back to the first section. Now, if you notice in the first section, there is a check mark and a dot. So what that means is that if you've jumped into a module, in this case, and you've gone through it, the system will know Tracy played the video, she checked, she clicked on all the main hyperlinks, she perused through the PDF, she went through the slides and the transcript. I don't know specifically what triggers it. I just know that the system will know that you've spent sufficient time in the module. And so then it'll say, okay, Tracy has gone through the section, you know, she hasn't at least just jumped in for 5 seconds and jumped back out. So then it'll click and mark it as a check box. In this case, you'll notice that we clicked into the quiz, but we didn't start it. So the system knows that I did not start the quiz yet. So that's why there is no check mark next to the quiz. So now we're going to go through and go up to class progress. Okay, so in the class progress, you'll notice on the left-hand side is a table of contents. You'll notice also that these headings should match what you're seeing on the left-hand screen. So summary means is right here, progress summary. Grades is this section here. Content, this section here. Quizzes, section down here. Course access, section here, and then system access history. So to break this down for you, every time that you receive a grade, you'll see it here. I believe there should only be one grade since it means that you've passed your course, but I could be wrong. As far as content is concerned, do you remember that I mentioned about the check marks? Well, this part here is kind of related to that. It basically tells you that I've clicked on 2 topics or modules and how much time I spent in them. So again, a lot of this class progress you don't need to really worry about it. I'm just letting you know what this is for. If anything, if you go to a traditional online course at a college or university and they happen to use D2L, you'll kind of be familiar with what this section means. So then you have quizzes, and it tells how many times I've made the attempts or what grades I've gotten for the attempts that I've done for each quiz. And then the last part here is it tells me every time I've accessed this specific course, and the bottom is the history of how or when was the last time that I accessed modern states. Okay. All right, awards. So if you see, I clicked on awards and it took me to my awards. It says you don't have any earned awards yet, which is true. I haven't completed the course. But now I can click on view available awards and it'll show me this is the badge that I'm waiting to get. So as soon as I finish the course, I should be able to see this little orange badge show up in my awards section here. Now we're going to go over to Modern States Help. Looks like it opens up a separate page. There you can do a search, title, submit a request, and then there's other options. So looks like this is a good help page. Brightspace help opens up to a second page, and again, this is more of a very specific type of help, which means you have an issue with the platform itself. If you need something related to your course, I would say more often than not, the help that you need you'll be able to access here in the Modern States Help link. Now let's go back to the home page. Here, just remember that every time you go back to this home page, it's going to take you back to your home base, which is where all your courses are at. So now I notice that there is a little orange dot top right. So if it says here, it says final calculated grade has been updated. My grade is 0. Grade updated principles of microeconomics. That's not good. Let's check. Okay. Interesting. So I'm not sure why that popped up, but I'm actually gonna jump in and make sure that it didn't start the test for me. Okay, I don't see anything. All right, let's go back to the main section. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign up for a second course so they can see what it looks like to have 2 courses in the platform. So I'm going to go ahead and click on courses, and you'll notice here I still have 1 course that is displayed, and that's it. So now I'm going to go into enroll, and I'm going to sign up for macroeconomics. Okay. Oh, something interesting I'm noticing is that if you are already enrolled in that course, you will not see that as an option here on this in this selection. So, okay, macroeconomics, enrolling in that. It says it'll be available soon. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and open course through this link here. All right, again, it takes me to the table of contents of the course. So here we go. I see macroeconomics, right hand side. Then on the left hand side, it looks like there's 7 sections, and each section has its subsections, and each section has its quiz as well. In this case, section 2 has a few modules and then a quiz. Section 9 has a lot of modules and then a quiz. So let's click on that. Yep, it looks like it has it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 modules at least. Yep. Oh, and 5 modules and then 4 quizzes. So I hope that makes sense. We're going to jump back to homepage. And in this case, I should see the 2 courses. There we go. See them all available right there. And on the right hand side, I should be able to see the 2 courses available as well. Okay, one other thing I'm going to take you through is we're going to go through the profile, notifications, and account settings. So in this case, if you want to update your profile, you can do that, and there's all these different options that you can update. You can also go through your notifications. There is a app that you can download. We already went through and made a couple of selections here in the notifications earlier in the video. Account settings, click on that. Passwords, all these different options that you have available that are pertain to you. I think the one thing I might change is the time zone, just for my sake. So that would be this option here, where you'd be able to change it to whatever time zone applies to you. So, oh, and let me see if there's something else. Okay, discussions. Okay, I don't think that really pertains to these courses. There's not really any discussions. And email options. Again, you won't really have to use this. You're not emailing anybody, at least not that I know of, within the system. So I believe we talked about how in D2L Brightspace there are many different links to get to the same place. So keep that in mind. So this example, this progress link under your profile name is the same as the class progress link that is in the main navigation bar for the course. Go back to homepage. Okay. All right, now I have some type of update, so I'm going to click on that. It says final calculated grade. My grade is 0 out of 79. Okay. All right, so now that I see the second alert, I think I'm starting to understand what's going on. So when this pops up, I would say don't freak out. What it's saying is that you've enrolled in this course. I've taken a brief overview of everything that you've clicked on, and it looks like out of all the content that's there, you're currently at 0 out of 188 or 0 out of 179 in this case. So all that means is that your current starting point is 0. Nothing to worry about. It's just telling you where you're currently at. Okay, slides. I want to show you how to download the slides and download the transcripts, or download the PDF, download anything that you might need for these courses. I know that some people are really good at working completely online, but if you're not, you and I are in that boat together, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to jump into macroeconomics, and for this example, I'm going to go into module 1, and you'll notice that you have reading, video, and slides. So for each link, it should open up in its own page. You have 2 options on how to download. You can either download them through this little button right here on the top, or you can download it on the bottom. If you click on this link here, it'll take you straight to the download window. And if you click on the bottom link, it'll take you to the PDF so that you can zoom in, look at it in detail, etc., and then print whatever pages you want. So it's up to you which link, doesn't really matter, but that's your options. So now we're going to click on video transcript link. This is going to give you only the option to open in a new window and then again download or print depending on your options. Click on slides. This is something that I'll be doing quite a bit. It'll open up in a new window. You'll be able to download or print, and yeah, so you'll be able to see through everything that you have here. Okay, in this case, I will mention I have 63 slides. I can either try to print all 63 here, or what I would do is I would just download it as a file. You'll also notice that there is a download button here. I'm going to click on it, so just so you know what happens when you click download for the curious. Pages, file folder, attachments. So in this case, it downloaded the slides, the transcripts, and the textbook reading material. If I go back to pages, it also downloaded a copy of the web page. All right, so I would say if you really want to download everything all at once and you don't want to go through everything individually, you can certainly use this download button, but then you'll get a lot of extra file folders and pages, as you saw, that are kind of nested in. So keep that in mind what you want to do. If you want to download everything individually, that's one option. If you want to download the whole package and then sort through it, that's another option. If you want to print your sections or your modules, you can certainly do that. I don't know that it's going to be very helpful because it basically gives you a screenshot of the beginning of the video. No. So this print button is not really going to help you at all. So, okay. I think that is it for now. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. If you want to run through the orientation again, that is provided for you by Modern States. Click on the little welcome and orientation guide. You'll see that it'll pop up again. It'll walk you through steps 1 through 6 one more time, and you'll be able to go through it and learn what you need or what you might be missing. So I would encourage you to check this again if you have any questions. And if you have any questions about this video, then feel free to drop them in the comments. So, all right. I hope that you enroll. Talk to you later. Bye.